For life.
Yeah. Bullet cast. What's going on? Stacy. This elite podcast in here. Ain't nobody better. Look. Yeah. Listen to us every time we live in the side. When you turn it on, it's just defining the mind. If you feel it, our opinions is great. When everything we moving now in the state, turn us on. If the feeling is right, every opinion now comes from the heart.
Yo, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? You know the name, you know the voice, you know exactly why I'm here. Just in case you don't, I am a 27. Am I 27? Yes. I'm a 27-year-old piece of gold. The beside of the microphone. Your mother's favorite podcaster. Listen, I am not alone. I have the Canadian Destroyer, BT. Brandon Tanguma is in the building. And, of course, we are joined by...
Brian Tronic.
No.
Sorry.
We may never be joined by Brian Tronic again. He is the greatest helping hand in podcasting today. Tim.
At least on the West Coast.
Tim from Pro Wrestling Unlimited. What's going on, man? How you been, man?
Not much. Glad to be here again. Always fun to be with you guys on this show. I just love talking wrestling with different people. So when someone goes, hey, can you fill in because I need somebody? I say, sure. Why not?
That happens a lot more frequently to you than most. You have some exciting news. You're going to be a part of a video game?
Yes. So I could officially announce today that the Pro Wrestling Unlimited brand is going to be in the brand new WrestleQuest video game that comes out on August 8th from Mega Cat Studios. But there may be some more I'm going to do with them post-launch. We just didn't have time to get everything situated for the launch, but there may be more that I do with them and this game post-launch as well. So that's going to be very, very cool. But as far as when the game comes out, you'll be walking around the world and whatnot, and you'll just randomly see some Pro Wrestling Unlimited billboards and whatnot within the game, if not more.
That's cool, man. How does that process work? If you can reveal any details at all, like how did you get involved and whatnot?
They reached out to me.
What? You see, we need to get on this level, Brandon. This is where it's at, man.
Yeah, there's a number of YouTubers that got contacted and they're going to be part of this game. They've got Kind of Funny is going to be in this game.
Okay.
Some of the guys from Deadlock, like Tony Pizza Guy and CM Pulse.
Okay, yes.
I think JD from New York is featured in the game as well.
Oh,
so,
really?
Yeah.
Balls and Chair Shots and Within the Ropes is going to be on it.
Right.
Within the Ropes doesn't exist anymore. Stop that.
Well, I mean, it's still on my podcast app. It hasn't disappeared yet.
Yeah, I made him that logo, and then he just said, I'm just going to do Huey's show only.
Oh, you made that logo?
His newer one?
Wow, I didn't know that.
It's a beautiful logo. Beautiful logo.
It is. It's fantastic. Wow.
It looks great just right down there at the bottom of my podcast app because it never updates.
I was just under the impression that he made it himself. Wow.
No.
Okay, shout out Tim. We have some sad news. Exotic Adrian Street has passed away. He made a name for himself over in the UK wrestling scene, the world of sport, that style. Billed from Wales as my internet pops up so we can read the stats. You know I love stats. He was a middleweight champion twice in All-Star Wrestling, Cauliflower Alley honoree in 2005. Championship Wrestling from Florida. He was the NWA Florida Heavyweight Champion one time. NWA Hollywood Wrestling. He was the America's Champion one time and a two-time tag champ with Timothy Flowers. Pro Wrestling Illustrated 171 out of the 500 best wrestlers in 1992. The list of accolades goes on. The Wrestling Observer voted him the best gimmick in 1986. So just to give a detail about how long his career went on, debuted in 1957, officially graduated in 2014. Wow.
Yeah, he went a long time.
He did. What a career. One of the many that was billed as the Nature Boy. So that's him, Flair, Rogers, Buddy Landel, anyone else? There were four of them.
There's probably even more that we don't even know about.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, they're like Mr. Wrestling. There were four of them. Yeah. So I mean, shout out to Adrian Street, man. And a flamboyant, androgynous gimmick, but he made it work, man. He really did. Tim, you have any thoughts on the passing and the career of Adrian Street?
So I don't know much about Adrian Street. That was way before my time, but here's a good fact that I found out that you probably don't know. He created Mick Foley's Dude Love gear when he feuded with Stone Cold Steve Austin.
I had no idea. So
There you go. The more you know.
He's a gear maker too?
Yep. He created the Dude Love gear for Mick Foley when he feuded with Austin.
Wow. When ladies and gentlemen in the Bay Area, when Mick Foley comes to BTW in October, ask him about that. There you go. Brandon, you have any thoughts on the life and career of Adrian Street?
I know, similar to Tim, before my time, but I've read some things. I think I saw like a video on him, or he was featured in some sort of documentary. Like within a year, I saw something about him. So that's kind of like the only real stuff I've seen of him. But obviously, as you kind of talk through, androgynous character, definitely flamboyant, over the top, and made a name for himself back in the day.
There's a pioneer for characters like Goldust and so on and so forth. RIP to Adrian Street. Also RIP to Paul Rubens, Pee Wee Herman.
Mm-hmm.
He passed away. He had a major influence on a lot of people with his Pee Wee's Playhouse and all that stuff. Do you have any thoughts about that, Tim?
I know I watched a bunch of Pee Wee's Playhouse as a kid. Didn't really, once I got like teenage age or whatever, didn't really watch much of his stuff. I do remember him in Dunstan Checks In. He was the what's it called? He was the animal control guy that was trying to capture Dunstan in the hotel. Yeah, that's like the biggest thing that I remember him from. Because I watched Dunstan a million times growing up. So.
I mean, he was a special guest host of Monday Night Raw when they were doing that. Yeah, that's really what I remember from him. Brandon,
not really. Pee Wee's a little bit before my time, but I saw the movie, and obviously some of the rare appearances he made in WWE.
Yes.
And the movie theater.
yes, that. R.I.P. to Pee Wee Herman. Becoming Cody Rhodes, the documentary is aired on Peacock. It's 2 hours. Fantastic doc. They tell the whole story, which people were very skeptical about. Like, are they just going to leave it all out? And Cody, I feel like we all have kind of a sense of how Cody Rhodes is. Like, he doesn't want anything left out of his story. Mm-hmm. So I mean, we got BTE footage. They talked All In. They talked AEW. They talked the indie run. So
did they talk AEW?
Triple H did.
Yeah. And Tony Khan was not happy about that. He had to. They mentioned it. Like they mentioned it.
I know. They acknowledged it, but they're obviously not gonna dive deep into all right. They didn't talk about Cody ending racism and the fans kind of turning on him at the end of his run.
Well, no, he did talk about that a little bit. It was brief.
Just go watch the Austin interview. He talks more AEW in that.
Yes. Brandon, what do you think of the doc?
It was 2 hours, as you said. It was definitely a Cody Rhodes type of documentary. I didn't learn too much from it, just because Cody has been just so forthright and open over his last few years. So, but I did learn some of his early stuff, like his wrestling days, amateur wrestling days, and going to acting school when he came out of high school, not even going to college or going to wrestling school right there. So that Cody trying to become an actor does explain a little bit of how Cody is. And going back to the AEW thing, the only real omission that I kind of felt they left out, which I know they're not going to say this because it's a WWE documentary, is just kind of how anti-WWE Cody was in his indie/AEW run. And that, that doesn't play into the story they're telling the documentary of how he's coming back home and he's going to win the WWE championship.
But really anti-W?
He literally smashed a Triple H throne, and it was always,
well, we're real pro
wrestling. That's sports entertainment.
That was the secondary company run. On the indie run, I literally watched him at APW. He did the cartwheel, did the Stardust thing, pulled out the mask from underneath the ring and hit somebody with it.
During that run, it was. Obviously not the entire run or the entire character, but it was like WWE overlooked me and I'm proving them wrong. That was kind of like his character. Well, yeah. I'm proving them wrong.
And he did. He did.
Right. And the story of the documentary, though, like Brandon said, that his indie run was WWE overlooked me. I want to prove them wrong. Well, that's not what the story I got from this documentary. It was, I'm Dusty's kid. They only see me as Dusty's kid. I need to now leave for them to see me as who I am, what I can do as myself, not Dusty's kid, not Dustin's little brother. And then, because they make the whole thing is I left just so I can prove to them that when I come back, I'm a big star. Now, it was a great documentary. I told my buddy's like, should I watch it? I was like, it's the perfect thing to put on in the background if you're playing a video game. Like, it was good. Really, really, really good. But like Brandon even said, you don't really learn anything because we know everything about Cody Rhodes.
Yeah. It's for those that don't really know the story, watch it. But I mean, like, we started this podcast like when he was on that indie run, so we've really in a time capsule, we've like critiqued everything he's done from the indies.
Surprised the cock didn't ask us for any comment. But instead they got Dave LaGreca on. Like, what the hell?
That the cock thing, that's been catching on, bro. Like I heard Peter Rosenberg say that on Cheap Heat this week. You've done something, Brandon. I don't know.
I know. I'm really original by calling Peacock the cock.
Yeah, but I mean, like we've followed the whole Cody run from when the indies to now on this show. So obviously, like we all know everything and whatnot. But yeah, man, it's good stuff. Go watch it. It was nice, man. You got to see some never before seen footage. Good stuff. Yeah.
The whole like sprinkling throughout of him walking through the desert, a tad much. Like that's Cody, but that's kind of a tad much.
I was in a tad much.
No, that was their transitions of now we're going through the next phase of the story and the next phase.
As I said,
what did you want? Did you want ridiculous wipes as transitions?
I didn't say you had to do ridiculous wipes as transitions. You don't need to, make it that overt of having he dusts off the.
Yeah, but it's Cody Rhodes. What would you expect?
That's what I'm saying. Like he went to acting school at a high school, and
right.
Shout out to sister because we watched the whatever Roads to the Top show, and she was kind of the heel, and she showed up, was like, oh yeah, I remember her, and I forget exactly what she was doing, but she was not the nicest person to Brandy. In the show, at least.
It is what it is. But yeah, if you haven't seen it, go watch it. SmackDown, the Bloodline segment. Jey Uso has a match with Grayson Waller. Roman earlier in the night runs him down, of course. Jey beats Grayson. Solo gets super kicked. Roman gets speared. Sold it beautifully. Then Jey gets Samoan spiked, speared twice. Good stuff. Just good stuff. Continuing the little tidbits as we get to Tribal Combat this Saturday. Tim, what are your thoughts?
So I'm not going to say I'm getting tired of the Bloodline stuff, but it's starting to slowly get repetitive. I don't know if you feel the same way, but I do think it's slowly starting to get a little repetitive with how they're doing everything. But I'm excited to see how the match goes and see Roman once again retain.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the only other thing you could do would to bring people in. But I mean, realistically, you can only bring in what? Well, I mean, Alpha and Sika made an appearance during the pandemic when they bestowed the lei. So if they're well enough to travel, you could bring them. You could bring them, Rikishi and Black Pearl, their uncle. That's literally it, because others are signed other places.
You ain't gonna get Dwayne?
Well, what's the rumor?
They're not gonna fly you out, Phillip?
Hey, I haven't had that conversation with Big Goose yet, but no, I mean, what's that rumor? Dwayne's gonna show up and confront Grayson Waller or something.
No, I don't. I saw that's called Twitter tweets or whatever, an unconfirmed
or
people on
Twitter.
X
now?
I don't know.
So wait,
I still call it Twitter.
I mean, have you updated it? Does it literally? I haven't updated it yet.
Oh, mine automatically.
There's the
updated.
X right there. It updated right next to Threads, which I barely touch anymore.
So press the X, Brandon. I haven't seen. I
did Threads for a week.
It's just the same. It just has an X at the top.
Yeah, it's the exact same.
All right, cool. I don't know. I don't want to get rid of the Bluebird yet. But yeah, I mean, the only way they could really divulge it is to bring in different members, and apparently, I guess that's what that tribal court was supposed to be at the beginning of the year.
Yeah,
with Sami Zayn, they were supposed to bring in members, but no contracts and everything, and people couldn't make it. But yeah, I mean, this is going to be the end. As we know it, and then Roman will move on to face other people, kind of get back to what he was doing before he started wrestling his family and Sammy and stuff like that. Just have different challengers come along, and he smashes them and stacks them and just keeps going.
Yeah, I mean, I was almost going to say the same thing as Tim, like thinking it was a hot take that I thought the Bloodline thing was getting a little repetitive. I mean, they peaked like very early with that, with the full-on breakup a couple weeks ago, and it's kind of hard to kind of evolve from that because that's just.
I mean, it's not a full-on breakup. Solo and Roman are still together.
Well, the very heavy angle that killing Jimmy off, but
yes.
Right.
But I mean, like, what is Tribal Combat? It's just another gimmick.
It's a street fight.
Just another no holds barred gimmick match that.
Well, we don't know that. We've never seen this before.
Jay literally said, I want to use all the weapons I can on you.
Yes. I'm sure they'll.
It's just, I mean, all it is just branding, but it's like,
Yes.
okay, we've seen this like numerous times, not just in the Bloodline, just like kind of in WWE in general.
But here's an interesting thing. The graphic for the match that they showed on Raw has the WWE Undisputed Universal Championship with the lei draped over it. And then Corey Graves said that this match is for the belt and the head of the table.
It is that because Roman was on First Take with Stephen Amell. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Or Stephen A. Smith.
Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah, Stephen A. Smith.
Stephen Amell is from the amazing show on Stars called Heels that everybody should be watching.
And narrator for American Nightmare. Because
yes, of course. I haven't seen season. I haven't tapped into season 2 yet. I love Heels.
I'm just gonna show up. Tell me when AJ Lee is on, and I'll watch those episodes.
But Stephen A. Smith. I'm sorry. I apologize. Had Heels on the brain. Yeah. So he was on First Take with them, and yeah, Roman said no. It's for the championship also, and it's for the lei and to be the tribal chief, to be the head of the table. So yeah, it's a lot at stake here. It is a lot at stake.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's leaving the undisputed world champion and also the head of the first family of this business. So it's something. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm excited, man. I'm excited. Can't wait to see what's
Are you
next.
excited?
I am. I'm so excited.
Okay.
Rey Mysterio was hurt on SmackDown. That sucks. In his match with Santos Escobar.
He's said to be fine already.
Oh, okay.
He just got his bell rung.
Okay, he just got knocked a little loopy.
So what it was, according to Dave Meltzer, was Santos.
He's always right.
Santos went for the crossbody, and he like landed wrong, and Rey kind of got knocked a little loopy there. Then when when Santos went for the dive on the outside, Rey smacked his head and kind of like, again, got knocked a little loopy. Went over to the doctor. The doctor looked at him and goes, yeah, nope, we're not going to risk anything. Match is over. Santos Escobar was always supposed to win, but there was also supposed to be another segment later with Rey and Santos backstage that they ended up pulling from the show.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, hey, you got to be safe, and all that stuff. I mean, so we're talking about guys being hurt and whatnot. I want to get you guys' opinions on this right now. I had a conversation with a buddy of mine, and Cody Rhodes told the story on Sam Roberts' podcast about how he actually got hurt, how he tore his tricep trying to outlift some guy in a gym. So what are your guys' thoughts on wrestlers working hurt with these kind of severe injuries? Like, let's have a conversation here. Tim, what are your thoughts?
So in the Cody situation, if they tell you, hey, you can't hurt it any more than it is, you can't make the injury any worse, then why not? I mean, go for it. But if there is that chance where you can hurt it worse, you can do more damage, you can prolong you being out. If it's an injury where they're like 7 months, but if you work on it, it could be 9 months. Don't work hurt if there's a chance to get worse. If you're like Cody and you can't get any worse, why not? Screw it.
Brandon.
I mean, wrestlers should preserve their bodies as much as possible. There's definitely a sliding scale. Like, if you have a tweaked knee on the week of WrestleMania and you're the main event, like, okay, you can work through that just because of what it is. But if it's middle of September, you're not really doing much. Let's hold it back. We don't need to do the full house show loop and possibly tear your ACL. Just like when Seth Rollins tore his ACL at that Kane house show match. Like, he originally hurt it, and then he wrestled for a few more minutes after that, which then kind of made it even worse. So, yeah. And even just like coming back from regular injury, I mean, like Kevin Durant, I think he hurt his knee and then he came back a little too soon in the playoffs, and then he hurt his Achilles. He hurt a completely different body part because the body is trying to take weight off of one part and it puts stress on another part.
Yeah, my homie was like, this mentality isn't really good for anybody. And I'm like, well, it's just kind of the way they're wired, man. I mean, guys like that come from, like, they grew up in a generation where you tape it up and go. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're just wired differently.
We saw this with Kenny Omega. He worked hurt his entire run as AEW World Champion.
Yes.
They thought he was only going to be out for a couple of months. He ended up being out for what, 6-7 months?
Yeah.
Because he worked hurt, and they were like, oh, yeah, you'll just rehab this, blah, blah, blah. But then, nope, got to rehab more. Wasn't recovering as quickly as they thought he would because he did more damage to himself than he thought he was.
Yeah, I mean it's just it's just how these guys operate. They don't want to let their fans down and stuff like that. I've never really saw anything wrong with it. Now, if you can cause severe bodily harm to yourself, then okay, let's maybe take a step back. You know what I mean? Outside the ring, AEW Plus. So AEW filed a trademark for this. Let me go to the little article here. Dun, 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 dun. Here it is. All right. AEW filed a trademark for the name AEW Plus on Monday, July 24th, according to the United States Patent and Trademark Office's database. The trademark application, goods and services usage description states that the trademark would be used for streaming of professional wrestling entertainment video material on the internet. So, it looks like we might finally be getting an AEW streaming service.
But you're going to pay $60 back to back for All In and All Out.
Dude, they need to have like a bundle deal.
That's I think what I had heard, if you get it on Bleacher, there might be a bundle deal. I don't know about regular pay-per-view though.
There better be a Bleacher bundle deal.
Or you just go to Watch Wrestling.
Yeah.
And then just like get it that way.
Yeah.
But as far as this AEW Plus thing goes, I mean, as far as we know, it's just because right now their deal with Fight TV in the UK is called AEW Plus. So I don't know if this has anything to do with that, or if maybe they're going to loop this in with another streaming service like WWE does, maybe HBO Max, and that's going to be their section of that. But not much is really known about it at all, which is kind of weird because usually in these trademarks, you see a lot of info given. This one's just got one line and that's it.
Yeah. So it's interesting to see what happens. Continue with AEW. Chris Hero has been made a producer for AEW. Shout out Chris Hero, man. He's really done a lot here in the Bay Area. He's the matchmaker and a producer for West Coast Pro out here. So that's awesome, man. I mean, these guys are going to have a wealth of knowledge. Chris Hero, I mean, one of the best to ever do it on the indies. So that's awesome. I'm really happy for the talent backstage at AEW.
Yeah, I mean, I've always been a big fan of him, on the indie scene here. Then back in NXT, I kind of wish I always wish he kind of had a little bit more. But obviously, as you see, his mind is for wrestling is very good, and people are putting that to good use.
Yeah, man. I mean, I've seen him kind of give younger talent out here like some advice, and just to see like the way his mind works for it, like it's cool. So they're in good hands. I
feel like if he didn't need the goddess body, but I feel like if he had it, he could have been a lot more in WWE at least. I think that always kind of held him back.
He had it the first time around, and then he got fired, and then he gained weight on purpose on the indies, tore it up, got hired again, and then got let go again. Yeah.
Tony Khan did say that he's slowly trying to work him over to have a match.
Yeah, he is. I mean, he looks like he's lost weight from when he was like at his heaviest in WWE. He looks like he's trimmed down some. So I'm sure if he has a match, it'll be fine. Vicky Guerrero is now a travel agent after her departure from All Elite Wrestling. If you're
still a thing,
if you're looking for a staycation, hit up the former general manager of SmackDown. Yeah. Vince McMahon's spinal surgery.
Don't use Expedia. Expedia sucks.
Yes, don't do that.
Shout out Will Compton.
VKM has been on leave from his duties at World Wrestling Entertainment for some time now, dealing with multiple health issues, and apparently he had spinal surgery recently. So speedy recovery to VKM. Yeah.
And he was searched by the feds.
We don't have to talk about that.
Okay.
That's not on the scripts. Why would we talk about it?
Well, I mean, since we're on the Vinnie Mac train, might as well.
We're gonna mute you now. Yeah. So the Von Erichs movie, we have a release date, December 22nd, 2023. Zac Efron is in it. MJF has a little role in it. He plays Lance Von Erich, which I don't really know too much about that Von Erich. So that's
he was the fake Von Erich.
Oh,
he was the fake Von Erich that was supposed to be their cousin, if I'm thinking correctly.
Okay. Let's see. Well, this is going to be interesting. I'm excited. I'm excited to see the Von Erich movie.
Pardon?
I'm excited to see the Von Erich movie.
Right. It's also got have you watched The Bear? You haven't heard of The Bear?
I mean, I've seen Cocaine Bear.
No,
I mean, I've seen a movie titled The Bear, but that was a completely.
There's a show out right now on FX and Hulu. It's called The Bear. It's about the chef working in a restaurant, and whatnot. It stars Jeremy Allen White, and he's playing Kerry Von Erich. And apparently, Kerry Von Erich himself said that he's seen the portrayal of Jerry Allen White as him, and says that he does a great job. So,
wait, which Von Erich?
Kerry Von Erich.
I thought Kerry Von Erich was dead.
No, I'm thinking Kevin Von Erich. Never mind.
Kevin, yeah.
Kevin Von Erich said Zac Efron's doing a good job as him. That's what it was. I got it mixed up.
Okay, so Zac Efron's playing Kevin Von Erich.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I wonder where the Von Erich boys. I wonder what they're gonna do this Sunday. Yeah, they were in MLW. They had their run, and then that was it.
And then Lily James is in the movie as well. She's great.
That'd be nice. Yeah, I mean, with what you call it, with the NXT tag team division, they could really use the Von Erichs. That'd be a nice spot for them. Speaking of NXT, let's talk about Great American Bash. It happened this past weekend. Ilya Dragunov, Carmelo Hayes, fantastic. They knocked it out of the park. Shout out Dirty Dom Dom retaining the North American Championship the way he did. A buddy of mine met him at the Las Vegas airport. I'm like, that's so random. Apparently, Dirty Dom Dom was nice enough to take a photo. What else happened? Tiffany Stratton retained against Thea Hale in a submission match for the NXT Women's Title. NXT, they're slowly, getting back to these awesome PLE premium live events, man. People were like,
it's crazy that you brought that up right after saying the, Tiffany Stratton Thea Hale match, because
Tiffany Stratton blew herself up.
That was not a pretty sight.
She goes to the Boston Crab and falls over.
I wasn't a pretty sight, man.
Obviously, somebody watched the match. It was.
I watched.
I mean, you build a.
Brandon, do we have to do this again?
You build a submission match against two women who only one of them has one submission move.
Yeah. So.
And literally, the entire match was just them trading submission moves, and it was awkward, and it did not have any flow to it.
Tiffany Stratton was tired as hell. She tried to go for a Boston Crab, kind of fell over, lost her footing.
Look, a Boston Crab is not an easy move to do.
Then she just sat on Thea Hale at the end of the match and was like, screw this.
She did a Boston Crab. Then she tried to do like a lion tamer type. And then she was like, yeah, screw this. I'm just doing one leg and just really
sit down
there.
Yeah, look, a Boston Crab is not an easy move to do. You have to have certain positioning. You can lose your footing if the wood's
when the finish of the match is you're attacking your opponent so much that her coach has to throw in the towel, maybe you shouldn't also be falling apart at the end of the match.
Look, it's a different type of match. You exert different energies in a submission match. It is what it is, man. The point is, people were worried about NXT going back on the road. We don't got nothing to worry about. They killing it. They're doing great.
You going to No Mercy?
Where's that? Bakersfield?
Bakersfield. I'm probably going.
I don't know. I don't know. I gotta see. I do want to go to the Raw and then the house show that's going to be out here.
We got a house show here a week before, and I'm like, random ass house show or NXT pay per view. NXT pay per view.
I don't know. I may have. When is that? September what?
30th.
30th.
No Mercy.
I gotta see.
Is that the same day as the house show?
No, well, not the one here in Fresno. The one here in Fresno is the week before.
Yeah, no.
I'm saying in San Francisco.
San Francisco was the 29th.
Okay.
29th, yeah. I don't know. I got to see. But NXT Great American Bash, good stuff. Let's hit the fan mail.
You skipped over Gable Steveson, and the crowd is absolutely crapping all over it.
They cheered Baron Corbin.
Yeah, well, because Baron Corbin's fantastic. Y'all better. They finally understand.
Tell me when you've heard a Baron Corbin chant before.
Maybe back when he was the lone wolf, or no, when he was the lone wolf beating people in seconds, they just counted. They counted the seconds. That's what was going on there. Oh man, yeah, it was a double count out. I'd like to see them have a rematch and then Corbin just beat Gable. Who do you?
Gable Steveson should just go to the UFC.
Yeah, I don't think we need to do that.
Well, if he's not in the WWE, I'm okay with that too.
Why does he not have to be in the WWE?
His brother's doing well.
My sources also said that the brother is the more charismatic of the two, but the brother doesn't have the pedigree or the height, unfortunately.
Right.
If you just kind of combine them, perfect. You were to build a sports entertainer from the ground up. After you make Randy Orton, then the second batch will be the combination of the Stevens brothers.
Anyway, back to the fan mail. Hootie Who 420.
Hootie Who.
Mates, after Brock, where does Cody go from here? That's a great question. Where does the American Nightmare go after the Beast Incarnate?
I think it goes Seth freaking Rollins or whoever's got that World Heavyweight Championship, loses, has to build himself back up and wins the Rumble again.
So somebody was like, oh, they write him off and then he just comes back and wins the Rumble. I'm like,
No,
you don't want to write him off that for
Cody
that.
can't go away again for a second year in a row.
Yeah, no, you can't do it like that. You can't do it like that. Oh no, we'll see. We'll see.
The world title is kind of like the elephant in the room with Cody.
Yeah.
And then if you just kind of like run down the Raw roster, like there's really nobody I could say would be like a viable fit to feud with Cody for like the end of the year to get us to Royal Rumble. Unless you like mess around with Judgment Day, but Judgment Day is involved with Money in the Bank in the world title scene. So, or you just give him Bronson Reed and he can have another big boy to wrestle with.
They're involved with a lot. They're involved with a lot. All right, Nigerian Prince. This is a Bulletcast title one. This is nice. I saw the Bulletcast match. I liked it. Alpha Zone Loverboy did their thing in that match. Why was it pure rules?
Great cinematography. He didn't say that, but that's what I heard.
Cinematography need to work.
Well, also if it was in 1080p, it would have looked a lot better.
That's your fault.
Oh yeah, it's definitely my fault.
Pure rules. Why was it pure rules? I like to book different types of stuff, man. I don't want it to be just regular. You know, I want to try to do different things. You know, I'm a fan of pure rules matches. I was like, you know what? I want to see these two guys in a pure rules match. They did it. I thought they did a great job. And we'll move on and see what's next for Alpha Zoe. His next defense is what, October 8th. So be on the lookout. We have some from the Hall of Famer, Mr. X.
Mr. X.
Yes. I have to say I was impressed with the promos that Shayna and Ronda gave this past week. How real will this MMA rules fight be between them? Hopefully it won't be like the BS match Cain Velasquez and Brock had a couple years ago.
I did really enjoy that video segment. Allegedly, Jeremy Borash and Paul Heyman were involved with that. And I thought it was fantastic. I mean, it almost kind of felt like those UFC sit-down interviews that they do. And with no Vince McMahon, seemingly, you know, with the spinal injury out, hopefully it's like just Triple H's baby and they like do a legit MMA type rules match. We're not going to get a cage like a Lion's Den or whatever, the fight pit. But if we just go, you know, round system, 5 minutes or 3 minutes, I think that's perfectly fine.
All right. He also says, could we see Cody taking over the Triple H at some point down the road if he stays with WWE?
No.
I don't think Cody wants to be an executive.
No.
He's
done with it. He did it. He's done.
Yeah, he saw what happened.
He'll go run his school.
I mean, yeah, go be an executive in the biggest company in the world. Maybe,
right?
Maybe we'll see. With any of the elite, will any of the elite go over to WWE after the AEW ride or die, or are they AEW ride or die? They're AEW ride or die. I mean, they re-signed. I'm always of the notion of go try, just go try. Mm-hmm. You know, like MJF when 2024 comes up, go try it. He's 26. He can go sign a 3-year deal. By the time it's over, he'll still be 20. He'll be 29?
He's 27 now.
It was 27. Okay, so yeah, go sign a 3-year deal, but be 30 by the time it's over. Or
yeah, 30, 31.
Yeah, so just go try it, man. Like that's all it ever is.
Oh, they'll throw the bag at MJF.
Yeah.
With how heavily WWE Cody was pushing on that documentary, do you think he ever goes back to AEW? Not like a full time by any means, but do you think he makes an appearance?
I don't.
I feel like he does. I'm not saying like a full run, but I say he pops his head in one day.
I guess.
I mean, once he's retired, he can be like Ricky Steamboat and be a special ref for a match, but
yeah, or I don't know if they have one of those deals where they agree to let him make an appearance, like TNA used to do with WWE.
No, when they got Christian.
They want an Undertaker night. You're gonna get Christian. Or no, Dixie Carter requested Christian because she liked him from working with him.
Because WWE wanted Rick.
Yeah, they got him for the excuse me. For the Hall of Fame. That's right.
Or Roman beats Cody again next year at WrestleMania. Cody says, yeah, screw this. Leaves, goes back to AEW, just completely buries WWE again.
Oh, he didn't bury
it. Could happen.
Talked a little trash. Didn't bury
it. It was just a little playful banter.
Yeah. Also,
he was smashed in the throne. That was just a joke.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
He said. He also says, "R.I.P. to Pee Wee Herman. Yet another piece of his childhood has left him. Sorry about that, buddy. I really am. I really am." Moving on, AEW Collision / Dynamite recap. CM Punk claims he's the real world's champion. Takes the AEW title that he never lost out of the bag. Spray paints an X over it. He sprayed it on the E. People are like, "Oh, it's a shot at the Elite." Oh. Anyway,
It's in the middle of the championship, you idiots.
You want it on the right side or the left side?
Yeah. Anyway, Ricky Starks comes out there, says, he's the face of Collision. And so we're going to get a Real World's title match next week with the special guest referee being Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Yeah.
Now, hold on. Is he the special guest referee? Because on Dynamite, they called him the outside. Hold on. I got the thing right here. They didn't call him a special referee.
He's Mike Tyson.
Dynamite,
Much.
yes. They called him the special outside official. He's the Mike Tyson of this match, as Brandon said.
Why don't you just make him the special guest referee? Punk wins. Ricky gives Ricky.
We're gonna have a spot where Ricky goes for the ropes and other Ricky,
Pushes
knocks
him
his
off.
hand off.
Yeah.
That's all he's there for.
I don't know. And to throw some arm drags. Ricky's gonna hit Ricky with arm drags, and it's gonna be fantastic. Yes.
I'm intrigued with the whole Real World's champ thing. We got kind of straight edge society Punk saying that I'm straight edge and I'm better than you, which was a little weird, but then he kind of tied it around to kind of saying that's MJF's slogan kind of. And then he also did like the weird shot of like, I make my towns. And I'm like, okay, like where did that come from? And who are you talking about?
The Elite didn't work last week's Dynamite. After
They
Blood and Guts.
wrestled an hour-long bloodbath and they had a vacation for a week.
Right.
Still, you make your towns, brother.
He showed up literally less than 2 hours before that show started.
Yeah. If you love this business the way you say you do, you make your towns. That's what that means.
Mm-hmm.
God, Brandon, don't you know?
I
Yeah,
don't know.
so
Just a
if
stupid
CM
mark.
Punk is going to claim that he's a real world champion with with MJF, the current AEW world champion in the back, why didn't he come and say, "Hey, I'm the champ"? Why didn't he do that?
He was busy getting ready for his world tag title match with his new best friend, baby.
They didn't do like the backstage like interview. That was the Dynamite before, right? Because didn't MJF
Yes.
like kind of acknowledge CM Punk, but that was on Dynamite, not on Collision.
Right.
Okay, just making sure because I was like, did he? No, he didn't even acknowledge it on that day. Did he even acknowledge it today on this Dynamite?
Oh
no, he didn't. So are we gonna get a or are they just gonna do it at All Out?
yeah, the week after Chicago. That's what I believe.
Okay, so we're CM Punk. He's can
Punk
CM
versus
Punk,
MJF.
Can CM Punk have the '97 Bret Hart heel run, where he is a hero in Chicago and a heel everywhere else? Can we do that?
Did he not already do that when he went to Canada and they didn't like him there? And
But he's not exactly heel everywhere else. He's like
no, I'm saying like
75,
just
25.
no, I'm
babyface.
saying like just lean into it and do it.
oh well, yeah.
But then the more you do that, like the more asshole CM Punk is,
More
I think
people
the
are gonna like
more
it.
his core group is going to like that.
Who cares?
So it's like you kind of do get that Bret Hart 97 type vibe, but it's I don't know. The whole CM Punk Elite thing is all weird.
yeah,
I'm
just
over it.
yeah, just suck it up and go work with each other. Like I don't.
But Kenny Omega said you might see them on Collision. Ooh.
Okay, if they show up on Collision, they need to be in the same ring with CM Punk. That's how that needs to go. FTR retained the tag titles against Better Than You, baby. Adam Cole turned his back. MJF had the title. Looked like he was going to hit him with it. No, they have a big hug. If there was a hug off, who would win? Better Than You, baby, or Team Hell No?
Oh, Team Hell No.
Yeah, you can't beat the original.
There's no comparison.
That's true.
I mean, Daniel Bryan's head just perfectly fits right into Kane's bosom.
I mean,
It's
that's like
just-
asking Team Hell No or best friends. Team Hell No.
With the election coming up next year, can we see Red Kane versus Blue Kane?
hopefully Blue King goes over.
It works on a lot. It works on a couple levels.
Right.
Oh God. Like I said, the Elite re-signs. They said we might see them on Collision. Ooh.
Or Ring of Honor. He teased Ring of Honor.
Kenny, I
So
mean, he
like
didn't really
5,000 people could see them.
Yeah, but Kenny didn't really do a whole lot in Ring of Honor when he was.
No,
there.
the Bucks did.
Yeah, no, the Bucks,
Hangman.
Bucks and Hangman and Marty Skrull. They all ran Ring of Honor. Cody when he was there. Yeah, good stuff. RVD made his AEW debut. Came out to walk. People, you know, they lost their ish.
I lost my ish.
Did you really?
I was more excited to hear walk than I was to actually see RVD because that means he's going to wrestle in the year of our Lord 2023, which, you know, it's going to happen.
I mean, he still does the basics, the kick, the roll.
I mean, he got up there for that little spinning heel kick.
The
frog have a match next week.
Yeah. You know what? I was a fan of the RVD's TNA theme. I was a fan of that. That was good stuff. I almost wish he would have walked out to that.
No, Pantera all day. Legal Pantera. Well, I don't know. Illegal Pantera is kind of badass.
Pantera, who did they ever beat? You know. Oh. But yeah, I guess we're FTW title match next week.
FTW rules.
Yes, FTW rules. So I've noticed FTW title changes hands every July.
I have not noticed that, but you have a point.
Yeah, no, like it was introduced to Brian Cage, and then Ricky Starks got it, and then Hook got it last year, and now Jungle Boy got it this year. Yeah, so I guess when July rolls around next year, we can expect Jack Perry to lose the FTW title.
So interesting that they're doing this match next week and not waiting to do it at Wembley and put RVD on the Wembley show.
Yeah, right. Maybe he has a booking.
Well, I mean, the way Jack Perry's character is, he's been running away a lot. And I know it's an FTW rules match, so I don't know how they can do that, but I do wonder if they have the match, quote unquote, and then they do some sort of crap finish and we get the actual match at All In.
Or Jungle Boy says something along the lines of, oh, well, if you want to fight me, you're going to fight me on a bigger stage because I'm a big star now. This is too small for me. Something like that.
Well, I don't know.
But the only thing is, like, they straight up advertised it. It wasn't like RVD threw it out. It wasn't like RVD threw it out there and then he's going to do it next week. It's like they put the graphic up. They said it's going to happen. And then if you're going to pull it away, it's not good.
Yeah. The All-In main event is set. Adam Cole versus Maxwell Jacob Friedman for the AEW Championship. Yeah.
So as you know, I'm not the biggest fan of this whole MJF Adam Cole laugh haha. We're the two best friends that anybody can have.
Is that because it's sports entertainment?
A little bit, but it's also you know, it's also comedy that is not my type of comedy. And it's
what's your type of comedy?
I like comedy that's funny. Anyways, the collision match, the ending I thought was good because they're spacing it out, and then the promo. Once again, like MJF didn't he tell like that almost exact same story already? Like throw money in the Jew boy comment. And I'm like, okay, he's going down this road before, which he turned right after. So it's also really hard to like take him seriously. But I think they're playing a little bit better beats. Like, I think if they're going to tell this type of story, I like this type of vibe compared to, oh, we're going to go out and play video games and have a dance break and all that other stuff. Like, this is much more human and much more realistic compared to what they did in the past.
Okay.
Let's sitcom-y. Tim, how have you liked the Adam Cole MJF thing? Because I have not been a fan of it, while everyone else I feel like loves it.
I thought it's been okay. I thought them working together as a tag team has been good. The gimmick, as far as the skits, they've been there. They haven't really piqued my interest too much, but I think them as a team has worked pretty well. I'd say their in-ring stuff is better than the outside of the ring stuff. Double clothesline.
And they're almost setting it up to where Adam Cole is going to be the heel and MJF is the face, which...
Oh, I thought the whole time after that match on Collision that Adam Cole was waiting to go for a super kick.
So, I mean...
When they even teased it with when the Kingdom told Roddy, hey, just remember, he always forgets his friends.
Yeah, which... Like, I've always just envisioned MJF, being that heel up till 2024. He teases a bidding war, which... whatever. And then someone beats him at like the 12th hour. But if this is working and he is signed, which I've always thought he's been signed for like since he came back, but I guess you could pivot and make him a babyface and have MJF a heel, because why not? So I'm a little more open to this storyline if they're going to go this route compared to what they were doing the past couple of weeks.
So, I mean, if you want to do that story of, CM Punk has that title till right at the end of 2023 or something. There's a collision on the 30th of December.
There you go. Or that's when Eddie Kingston can beat him for the title.
These are all possibilities. I don't know. Look, it's made me care about Adam Cole a little bit more, because he hasn't really been doing nothing for me for these since he's been back. Yeah. Hikaru Shida is the new AEW Women's Champion. Congrats.
So I have a theory.
And
I think the only reason she won this belt is because Saraya couldn't beat Toni Storm for the belt at Wembley. So Saraya's going to beat Shida for the belt at Wembley.
Wow.
Think about it. They're going to do something big with Saraya. She's on all the advertising locally. There's a new magazine advertisement with her out there that she's front and center, big top of the whole thing. They're going to do something big with her, and she's not going to beat Toni Storm for the AEW Women's title, but she can beat Shida for the belt.
Not opposed to that. They really did hammer home like, oh, Shida was a champion during the pandemic, so she never was able to hold in front of fans.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it is kind of that, participation trophy type thing of being able to give Shida that moment, especially in front of 80,000+ people at Wembley, and with no Jimmy Hayter.
You know what's crazy?
What?
I forgot Shida was even the champion the first a time before this. I'm
disrespect Shida. Shida is arguably one of the best.
I'm not taking a shot at her. I legit forgot when they said
not a historian of the business. Then Phillip, that you were,
brother. I can talk to you about Kerry Von Erich versus Ric Flair back in '84. We could talk. About some history of the business.
She held that title Double or Nothing 2020 to Double or Nothing 2021.
That's right. And then Britt finally took it off of her.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right. No, okay, now it's coming back to me. There we go.
Jacksonville is Jacksonville.
Yeah. Hello. But yeah, I legit forgot, congrats. She can have her moment in front. Damn, she got her moment in front of fans before Drew. Jesus. Oh boy. Oh, that's not good. Not good. Let's talk about the Mogul Embassy attacking Nick Wayne at the Buddy Wayne Academy.
This was great.
That was fun. I mean, Nick
it escalated very quickly.
Lying there in a pool of blood. I'm like, yes. Now I care about Swerve Strickland. Now I care.
Right?
See, sometimes it takes one little segment. They have to capitalize on this. They have to keep this going. If they show up on Rampage, I might actually watch it.
They will be on Rampage. Him and AR Fox will have a match on Rampage.
Now I'm watching it. Yes. This was probably the best thing from an underwhelming anniversary show.
You can say that again.
Yeah, I saw the last little bit of your live, man. That's I saw. It just it just wasn't what it should.
Last 2 weeks of Dynamite have not exactly been inspiring.
There's been random shows.
They have been random shows.
Collision, on the other hand, been liking me some Collision.
Last Saturday Collision was really
Summerslam.
Yeah, last Saturday Collision was really good.
It was, man. Like I love the feel of Collision. Collision is doing it right. I love it.
Yeah.
It's almost a shame SummerSlam's happening Saturday.
So what do you think opens this week's Collision going against SummerSlam? You open it with Ricky and Punk?
Maybe a war of words.
Because for the most part, if Logan Paul's right, him and Ricochet should be opening SummerSlam.
That's right, because his brother's fighting, so he wants to open and then
immediately fly to Dallas.
Yeah, I think the math is he'll literally get there right as his brother is about to walk out.
Yeah, if he can get it, yeah.
That would be a crazy visual. Him doing whatever he does with Ricochet, and then him probably still in his gear, walking his brother.
That's exactly what he said. Yeah,
and on the Seth Rollins interview. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. SummerSlam predictions. Yes. Tim, would you like an opportunity to be the Bulletcast podcast champion?
Sure.
All right, here we go. So the way it works, you get the most predictions right, you're the champ. Simple as that.
Cool.
Battle Royal. I guess we're all going LA Knight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what the 4 people announced for it.
Yeah. LA Knight. Brandon, you going LA Knight?
I guess since he's in the match, we thought maybe he's going to have some sort of in-ring. I mean, maybe he still has an in-ring segment. Like he wins it, he cuts a promo, and The Rock comes out or somebody comes out. But since there's 7 people announced so far. I guess I'll just go with LA Knight.
Otis. No.
Otis. Shout out Maxime Dupree. I love it.
Right?
It's great.
Yeah.
Can we get an intergender like 6-person tag title and just put it on them? Like it'd be fantastic. If Mixed Match Challenge were to come back and they had a championship, put it on Otis and Maxine.
Oh, that'd be freaking phenomenal.
They would make it work so great. Logan Paul versus Ricochet. This is going to be athletic chaos, and Logan Paul is going to get a win. He needs a win. I'm going Logan.
Paul hasn't won since he beat The Miz.
Yes. So, Tim?
Logan Paul.
Paul. All right. Brandon?
I kind of thought like, oh yeah, Logan Paul's going to get the win. Makes sense. But then they did that last angle where Logan Paul was like, yeah, I'm going to have your fiance saying my name at the end of this match. I'm like, well, Ricochet, you kind of got to stand up for yourself, brother. So I'm going to go with Ricochet. Ricochet is going to get the upset win.
Wow. You're going to go Ricochet. Okay. All right. Ronda Rousey versus Shayna Baszler. They've built this up pretty nicely. I'm not going to lie. I'm going Shayna. This is her big moment.
I would agree. Shayna Baszler wins, and basically Shayna Baszler wins, but does a few things here. She wins, gets the big victory, whatever, but then she gets the jubilation of the fans because she's the one to send away Ronda Rousey for however long she's going to be gone for.
Absolutely. Brandon.
MMA rules. I do wonder what exactly that entails, but I'm gonna go Shayna. Get the win here. They've been a little coy on when Ronda is actually leaving, but just have Shayna win.
All right, I see. The WWE Intercontinental Championship is on the line. Gunther versus Drew McIntyre. Next week Gunther will surpass Pedro Morales' record. I feel bad for Pedro. He got surpassed twice in 1 year. Once by Roman, and then it's going to happen by Gunther, because I'm going Gunther to retain the Intercontinental title.
Gunther. Got to pick up that win and beat that honky tonk record.
Next month, man. Next month.
Yeah.
Brandon.
Yeah, I agree. Go with Gunther. Should be a really fun match. And just they beat the piss out of each other, and Gunther ends up getting the win.
All right.
Here's my question for you during this match, though. How much Ludwig Kaiser impressions do we get from Corey Graves?
I don't know.
just do the whole match.
Yeah, do the whole match in his
right? He should just do a bit, say that Ludwig Kaiser is on commentary with him, He just keeps switching back and forth.
You know what? I might steal it. I might steal it from my commentary gigs. I like it. The WWE Women's Championship is on the line. Asuka defends against Bianca Belair and Charlotte Flair. Charlotte is 5-0 at SummerSlam. So it's an important fact.
Be 5-1.
Oh.
Asuka.
Oh, okay. You're going the Empress.
Yep. Retain.
Okay. Brandon.
So I could see possibly Charlotte gets the win. We get a cash in, and we inflate Charlotte's numbers so she can finally pass her daddy. But I don't think it's going to happen in this match. It might happen in another match. But I'll go with Asuka to retain. Keep Asuka the way she is. Have that match with Io Sky eventually. Bianca doesn't need to kind of spinning her tires a little bit, and Charlotte is Charlotte.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really see Bianca winning it back. Charlotte.
Hold on. I think I have a brilliant idea for the finish.
Uh-oh.
Bianca Belair hits the KOD. Asuka throws Bianca out of the ring. Asuka pins Charlotte for the win.
You watched Dynamite tonight, didn't you?
Mind-blowing.
You watched Dynamite tonight, didn't you?
And every WWE triple threat match that's happened in like the past 15, 20 years.
Right.
That has not been the finish to everyone that's happened.
Well, I would like to make an addendum. If that's
this is why I don't let
that is
you
the real
book
finish,
matches.
I would like a bonus point.
This is why I don't let you book matches. This is exactly why.
What? I'm just predicting. This is a prediction show. I'm predicting what's going to happen in the match. I'd like a bonus point if that's the actual finish.
You don't get bonus points here. All right, moving on. The World Heavyweight Championship is on the line. Seth freaking Rollins defends against Finn Balor. It's Balor time. I'm going Finn Balor.
Same. I want to see that dynamic of Finn scared that Damian can cash in on him.
That's something.
I would not be shocked if we get a cash in on this show from Damian Priest. I think it could be from Finn or from Seth. I think that dynamic's a little better with Seth, just because I think the Judgment Day kind of have a good thing going right now, and I don't want Finn and Damian to kind of have their, beef going. So I'm gonna go with Seth to retain, and if I'm not getting bonus points, I will also say that Damian Priest cashes in as well.
Well, what if there's a chance we see WrestleMania 31 and they turn it into a triple threat with the cash-in?
Then Phillip will live text us, and we all have to put in our answers right away.
No. Maybe.
Because usually I do that, and then Phillip's like, "What are you talking about?" Because he's not watching it live, and then I get it right, and then I try to say, "Oh, I got an extra match correct." I should.
You try to politic, man.
No, I'm just playing the game the way it's supposed to be played.
No, you be politicking. I don't know why you be doing that.
Why do you think I was champion for so long? Reign of Terror, brother.
Yeah, it's the numbers went down. They've slightly gone back up now. All right, moving on. Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar. Cody, he gets a win and he moves on away from the Beast.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, get in, get out. Cody gets a win. I would not be shocked if there was blood in this match from either man. Probably Brock. He's just going to bash his head up against the ring post. And Cody gets the win and he moves on to something else. Still don't know why Brock attacked Cody. Not after WrestleMania. Yeah, still wondering.
No reason.
Brock Lesnar and he can't.
The world may never know.
Because he's Brock Lesnar and he can.
Just like who threw the pie at Kevin Owens. No one's gonna know.
I think it was Xavier Woods.
Or how many licks it takes to get to the center for Tootsie Pop.
A one,
mysteries.
A two.
Oh Jesus! Lastly, it is Tribal Combat.
What is that? Nobody knows.
It is Tribal Combat.
It's a street fight.
No, it's not. You don't discourage the fight of my family.
Hey, remember, this match being Tribal Combat was the Elder's idea, according to Jay.
Yes. It came from Alpha and Sika.
Or Rikishi.
No, the elders. Rikishi
from Peter Maivia himself.
Well, he's no longer with us.
Exactly.
Yes.
He sent down a message.
All right.
God bless. Hi, Chief.
Yes. All right. The undisputed WWE Universal Heavyweight Championship is on the line. Roman Reigns defends the title and the honor of being the head of the table and the tribal chief against Jey Uso. Big Dog is walking out the champ still. We've had enough of the losing. It's not going to happen again. I'm going Roman.
Yeah, there's no way Jey wins. It's got to be Roman.
There are a lot of people out there that have advocated this whole story has all been revolving around Jey Uso, and he's the one who should beat Roman Reigns. And even at times, I've said maybe Jey is the one.
He did beat him
to win the championship and the streak.
No, I mean he got the pinfall. That's it. I mean,
to win the championship, be the undisputed WWE Universal Champion, whatever the hell it's called. But that ain't gonna happen.
You don't know the name of the title?
There's too many words.
The undisputed WWE Universal Heavyweight Champion.
But also, how can it be undisputed if there's another world championship in circulation?
Because he has three of them. Roman Reigns, he can do whatever he wants.
Exactly. But Roman beats the hell out of him. Would not be shocked if we get a ref bump and a Solo Sikoa interference. Maybe Jimmy finally breaks out of the ER. And yeah, but Roman's winning this championship. Roman's winning. Like the idea of Jey Uso beating Roman, great. But then it's like, okay, you put 3+ years into the Roman reign. And now what do you do with Jey Uso as champion?
Right.
So
who's going to believe Jey as the world champion? No offense to Jey.
Like you can get a hell of a 6-month run or whatever till WrestleMania out of this. But if Cody wins, you get much more. He's made, he can get so much more. So
publicity Cody would get and the interviews. And
remember 2 years ago, we all thought it was going to be Braun Breaker to beat Roman Reigns. Ha! So funny.
Who said that?
We debated it. We thought about it. Maybe. Check the tape. We threw it around. We're like, oh, maybe Braun Breaker.
Now he's fighting Von Wagner.
You ready for the Von Wagner watch party? Shout out Von Wagner, man. I like him. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Von Wagner.
They were big on him when they started 2.0, and then they just kind of soured.
It's okay. He'll be back. He'll be back. Well, that does it, ladies and gentlemen. SummerSlam, watch it, enjoy it. Have a little watch party, yada yada yada. Yeah, Tim, thank you for being here, man. This is fun.
Not a problem. Anytime.
Yes. We might have to have you as a fixture.
Sounds good.
Yes. Brandon, anything to promote about your curveballs and your chair shots?
And we are back. Dropping Friday night. Curveballs and chair shots. Follow us. Send your questions. Don't really know what we're going to talk about because we took a 3-week break, and we talk baseball, the football, preview SummerSlam, of course. We'll see what happens.
Tim, let the people know where they can find you and all your content.
So you can find me. Most of my stuff is at Pro Wrestling Unlimited, whether that is Pro Wrestling Unlimited on YouTube, PW Unlimited on Twitter or X, whatever we call it now. And then you can find some of my personal stuff over at Timmy Buddy on all the different social media platforms.
Thank you, Tim. You guys know where to find us because you're listening to this podcast. So you obviously know where to find us. SummerSlam recap will be out. I don't know what I have to find a day to do it. Next week, we're going to talk to Fallout of SummerSlam and preview all the wrestling that will be going on in the Bay Area next week. A lot of big stuff is coming up. West Coast Cup is coming up. And, of course, Journey's Odyssey, Jimmy Lloyd, Eli Everfly, Jordan Oliver. A lot of big names are going to be in the Bay next week. So please get out to the show. Please. Thank you guys so much. As always, be safe and stay dangerous.
It's a lead podcast in here. Ain't nobody better. Look. Yeah. Listen to us every time we live in the side. When you turn it on, it's just defining the mind. If you feel it, our opinions is great. When everything we moving now in the state, turn us on. If the feeling is right, every opinion now comes from the heart. No time we move with a part. We in the radio.
This has been the Bullcast. Thank you for listening.